looking at the landscape of wearable sleep technology, I think we're in a really exciting time. Why is that? Because first and foremost, we know that over the course of the last 10 years, we've only seen an increasing rate of individuals who are adopting the mentality, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Thankfully for Gen Z, and I know that many times we may not be saying that, but for Gen Z, they are actually embracing this idea of overall health and wellness, and they're including sleep and circadian science and health as a part of that. The reason I think that these wearable technologies are so relevant to this trend and these different issues we're seeing across other generations is because it is creating the call to action as well as the opportunity to personalize what is it that is occurring in my 24 hours. As we're looking at these wearable technologies, which initially were these are a cool gadget, it can tell me a couple of things, it now is evolving to the point where we're seeing these wearable technologies not only be able to give us the information that we can use with things like actigraphy, for instance, in the clinic of what is someone's average sleep wake patterns, we're now seeing it being able to integrate to what is your heart rate like? What is your oxygenation? What are these other variables that perhaps might reveal something really important to you and what your health may be at risk for? So, when we're looking at wearable technologies, we now are putting information and power into the consumer or the population's hands, which is really where we should be starting anyway for overall health and wellness. Now, as much as I love the idea of individuals having this information in their hands with wearable technology, there are some limitations that are occurring with that, such as we may be not always having the most accurate information, perhaps leading to either the lack of diagnosis of a sleep disorder that may be existing, or perhaps the overdiagnosis of there may be something wrong. When we're looking at what the current wearable technologies are, many of them do not have an FDA clearance, meaning that the FDA has not stated this is suitable for medical grade technology and therefore should be used with the ability for you to detect your own health and wellness parameters. Now, with that stated, we do see that the trend of the qualities are improving. And so, therefore, we're seeing things like the Apple Watch being able to identify people who have moderate to severe OSA. Now, this does not replace the utilization of a sleep physician as well as cleared home sleep testing or in lab sleep testing to appropriately diagnose and begin the treatment pathway for obstructive sleep apnea. But you know what it does? It raises awareness and it gets people moving to the right providers in order to get them down the right track. Now, as much as that's a benefit, we do have to always have balance and caution where we're seeing things like the development of quote unquote sleep scores. I don't know what these are. Never had those being trained for me in my sleep fellowship or during any continuing medical education that I'm continuing to go to. With that stated, the sleep scores sometimes can be a reason that people develop an unhealthy obsession or anxiety about their sleep. We actually are seeing that individuals are chasing this idea of the perfect night's sleep or invalidating how they're feeling when they're waking up because they wake up and they feel well rested, ready to take on the day. And until they look at their cell phone and see the application is describing that they had a poor night's sleep and they should be doing better. So I prefer not to be scolded by my cell phone when I first wake up in the morning and hope that individuals are taking a healthy balance to the utilization of the sleep scores and the information that they're receiving. But if they're finding a pattern that does seem problematic, that they're partnering with someone in the healthcare space to help them be able to dissect and personalize a treatment strategy and diagnostic strategy to get them their best night's sleep for their most optimal days.